Hey everybody, this is Joel with Backroad Builds. For some of you out there, you started stick welding and you've never made that transition over to MIG welding. Maybe it's because you thought it'd take too much time to learn a new process, or maybe you thought MIG welding wasn't as good as stick welding. I'd like to take some time today to talk about a lot of the similarities between the two and help you make that transition and feel confident in your welds. First of all, let's dispel the rumor about MIG not being as good as stick welding. A 7018 rod and ER 70S-6 wire both are about 70,000 psi tensile strength. So if there's an issue with the weld, more than likely it was material prep or technique. So now let's talk about some of the similarities. So with stick welding, you have your rod angle that you need to keep. You need to do the same with your torch for MIG welding. You have how tight of an arc that you keep. That kind of relates back to the tip to work distance with MIG welding. Your travel speed is a factor in your weld also. So let's start with the technique here. Now this bead on plate with the torch, first thing you want to do is have the torch here at 90 degrees to your body. So we'll turn this to the side, so be at 90 degrees like this. Then, once you're at 90, you want to turn that torch back 10 to 15 degrees before you start welding. Now if you're welding a T-joint, you're going to want to come in at about 45 degrees and split that, and then also turn your torch back 10 to 15 degrees before you start welding. So let's make a couple welds here, and we'll show you how that's done. Always read and follow all labels and the owner's manual. Okay, so first we'll get the 90 degrees away from us, torch angle. Then you can see I have about 3/8 to a 1/2 inch tip to work distance. Now we're going to tilt back 10 to 15 degrees. We'll pull the trigger and start welding. Now if you're welding too slow and you ride up on top the puddle a little bit more, you're going to notice your weld bead get taller and also wider. And more than likely you'll see a little more spatter. Now if you're welding too fast, your weld bead will be too narrow and you won't get enough penetration in your joint either. As I mentioned earlier, the basics of MIG welding are very similar to stick, such as your tip to work distance, your torch angle, and your travel speed. With enough practice, you will have as much confidence in your MIG welds as you do your stick welds.